Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Mi Xiaoyan doesn't /t know how many times it has been. She has been tortured. She vaguely remembers that a man patted her on the cheek. She said, "Well, I can /t stand it." With that, Mi Xiaoyan fainted. It was already dawn and a ray of dawn came in. Mi Xiaoyan, who was sleeping soundly, was awakened by a violent knock on the door. She opened her eyes, looked around and suddenly found that she was not in her new house. Yesterday was his wedding with Mirongchu. Happy Mi Xiaoyan drank a lot of wine. When she finally drank the glass of wine from her best friend Muxia, she didn't /t know anything. Without enough time to think about it and endure the pain all over, Mi Xiaoyan picked up the torn dress from the ground and put it on her body. The door was knocked open before she put it on. After the magnesium light flashed, Mirongchu and a group of reporters rushed in. Mi Xiaoyan was frightened by the sudden reporter. Subconsciously wanted to grasp Mirongchu's hand, but he threw it away. Mi Xiaoyan, you bitch, we just got married yesterday, so you hurried to give me a green hat. Mirongchu said and slapped Mi Xiaoyan in the face. Ah Chu. Mi Xiaoyan was unprepared. She was knocked down on the ground, and her face suddenly swelled. She covered her face and shouted wrongly. She didn't /t understand what was happening in front of her. Mi Xiaoyan, Mi Xiaoyan, I didn't /t expect you to be such a person. You usually pretend to be serious. Ah Chu waited for you all night in the wedding room last night, but you were happy with other men outside. At this time, Mu Chia condescended to her, and the picture on her hand fell on Mi Xiaoyan face, seriously flashing a thick calculation. Mi Xiaoyan looked at her best friend in doubt. She subconsciously picked up the picture on the ground. The next second, her breath stagnated and her little face turned pale, because the back in the picture was really not Mirongchu. What the hell is going on? How can Mirongchu become another man? Mi Xiaoyan head is in a mess. Ah Chu, listen to me. Flustered, she got up from the ground and wanted to explain, but she found that she didn't /t know how to explain. She didn't /t know what had happened. Mi Xiaoyan, divorce. Mirongchu took out the prepared documents and threw them to Mi Xiaoyan. His tone was full of disgust. This sentence is so cruel that Mi Xiaoyan heart hurts like being stirred by a knife. Xiaoyan, let Ah Chu go. He doesn't /t like you at all. Seeing that the time was ripe, Muxia pretended to be kind to comfort, but her tone was full of pride. Muxia. Did you do it? Mi Xiaoyan suddenly remembered something, so she rushed to Muxia and wanted to confront her. What are you going to do? Sign the agreement and get out. Before she got to Muxia, she was stopped by Mirongchu, and then a strong force hit Mi Xiaoyan body on the tea table, and the painful tears were about to flow out. She was very embarrassed. Ah Chu. At this time, Mirongchu hand was affectionately pulled up by Muxia, who looked at Mi Xiaoyan with a disdainful look. Mi Xiaoyan suddenly raised her head. No matter how silly she was, she knew what was going on. She looked at the dog man and woman with red eyes, and her emotion was replaced by anger. Mirongchu, I won /t sign this agreement. She sneered and directly left the agreement on the ground. The dog man and woman framed her so much that she couldn't /t swallow it. You can /t sign. Your photos will make headlines early tomorrow morning. If you not afraid that your father knows, you can /t sign. Mirongchu seemed to have been prepared and threatened her with this matter. Mi Xiaoyan hesitated. Some time ago, Mi went bankrupt overnight. His father had a heart attack and lived in the hospital. The doctor said that his father could no longer be stimulated. If these photos were seen by his father, his life would be in danger. She looked up at Mirongchu face. Once she thought it was the best face in the world, but at this time, Mi Xiaoyan wanted to tear it up. Okay, I/LL sign. Mi Xiaoyan forced down her anger. She picked up the divorce agreement and signed it without reading it, because she knew that she would not give her anything. By the way, there are still your things in the new house. Go and get them when you have time. Murongchu didn't forget to remind her of her kindness before she left. No, throw them all away. At this time, Mi Xiaoyan felt that the blood all over her body was concentrated in her brain, and her head was about to explode. After that, Mi Xiaoyan no longer looked at the dog man and woman, pushed away the reporter standing in front of him and rushed out. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.